Gone. Well met, lords and ladies, and welcome to the throne room. This is episode 15 of the video game podcast that may forever, or may not forever, change your fealty. We don't know. We're not sure anymore. We're a little confused because you guys aren't talking to us. We need a community that talks to us. Am I right?
Yeah, get in there.
Yeah, get
Make a comment. Make a comment.
So anyway, I'm David Klingel, that guy you see all the time, with the other guys you see all the time, the game playing dudes, the other game playing, the dudes that play the games as well as me, and we play the games and we talk about them together. It's Anre Borges Brown.
That's me. Hello, everyone.
There he is.
Hello. Yes, make a comment or something. We don't want to seem too, thirsty, but just give us a comment, and we'll read your comment on the air because there won't be, that many to go through. You get your question answered. I promise. That's the Anre promise right there.
Man, that's the Crown King promise, right? That's the deal. That's what we're giving you, at least until we can't anymore. And we're also here with Ken Doman. What's up, buddy?
Ken Doman, I am here. Yeah, glad to be here. And yeah, talk to us. And if you're playing something, let us know what you're playing, and maybe we'll play something together.
Yeah,
We'll go in, and we'll give you a royal ass whooping in whatever game you want.
He said
We will, Madden, 2K, Nintendo. I'm sure they have some competitive games other than Smash Brothers. Because we wouldn't want to make Nintendo mad by trying to play Smash Brothers competitively. We're not that powerful. We can't go toe to toe with Nintendo. But Splatoon or something, we'll do something like that. Yeah.
And I've been thinking about that, and I actually had this thought this past week, and I wouldn't mind throwing a bit of my own money to buy someone a game for some reason, a little contest, a game of their choosing that I can gift on Steam. I'll buy it for you. Maybe we challenge the community to beat us at something.
Yeah.
And if they do, they might win a game. We'll think about this. We got to think about some constituents.
Good idea.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. See what we can do to get you guys involved, because we know you need some kind of what's it called?
Little incentive.
Incentive.
Yeah.
That's what it's called. You need a little incentive. And we're going to give it to you.
Carrot on the stick, yeah.
We're going to give it to you. We just got to find out what it is that makes you tick, viewers. Each and every one of you.
You know what? I like this. We're getting real Joker vibes from The Dark Knight. I like it. You guys are on the sidelines. We're trying to get you in the game. Just like the Joker was trying to get those guys in the game. The citizens of Gotham.
Yeah.
Especially when you said, and we're going to give it to you. That's straight out of the Joker's playbook. I like that.
What happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object? Yeah,
exactly.
And we're gonna find out. Thanks. We're gonna find out.
Best movie of all time. Best movie of all time.
All right. We're all here. Glad to be here. So, what is new? What do you play? I'm gonna start first. Screw you guys. I'm going first this week. I've been playing some Frostpunk, and I've actually enjoyed it. And it was a free. It was a free game on Epic Store a couple weeks ago, I think, or maybe even a month ago. I just haven't played it yet. But it's
Epic Store. That's the one that everyone hates, right?
Yeah, well, it's the one that doesn't really mean much, unless they have a free.
They give you free stuff. Yeah.
All right.
All the time.
Right.
So we've got the we got the Frostpunk on there, and it come out and you could buy it. I can't remember how much it cost, but it was like a city sim building game where the world is frozen over. And you've got to keep your people happy. You got to keep them fed. You got to keep them hot because it's cold and it gets colder. And I thought it was cool. And even when I downloaded it, I was like, even if I had to pay for it, I was like, maybe that might be a game I might pay for to check out because it seems interesting. I'm not too big on city sims, right? But I do like survival games, and it just seemed like a huge, grander scale survival game of taking care of a whole colony instead of just myself. And, I played through the first campaign. There's a few of them. And then you can also play in endless mode and see how long you survive. And that seems a little crazy. But I played through the first campaign mode, and it was only about 8 hours or so. And I won. I survived. I kept the city alive through the thick of it, and it got pretty difficult. So, yeah, you got to choose how you want your people to work. So, man, and there's resources. So it's like, do I need wood right now? Do I need coal right now? And you need coal to burn your furnace, which keeps everyone warm. And it also works on the steam hubs, which you send out to make smaller sub-units to build out your colony. And those burn more coal than the main furnace does somehow. But, you've got to kind of decide, where am I putting my people? What resources do I need, and how can I best min-max this, right? And then you also got to worry about them getting sick, getting cold, getting frostbite, getting amputated, dying, all this other stuff. So, yeah, I really enjoyed my first experience with it. It was quite fun. And now that I've learned how the systems work, I'm ready to get back in it and be like, okay, let's see how really good I can do now that I understand how this whole thing works. Because, most of it you're kind of learning, and you're not necessarily doing so well because you're like, oh, well, I read it and it sounded right, but that didn't do exactly what I thought it was going to do. But now that I understand how everything works, I'm looking forward to jumping back in, trying the next campaign mode, and it may eventually get into an endless, and just, I don't know, how long can I last? How long can I keep my people alive? And you also incorporate these laws, right? So every 24 hours, you can write a new law, and it's built out like a skill tree. And you could choose there's two sides of the coin, and they both offer benefits and then non-benefits, right? So it's you kind of got to decide how you want to play and how it's going to work out. And then halfway through the run, it gave me another skill trait of two that I could choose from, and one was order and one was faith. So going down the faith path will give you churches to open and different paths down religion that kind of keep your people hopeful. There's these two bars. You've got hope and you've got despair, and you've got to keep them at a proper level so that your town doesn't lose focus. So I went down the order path because I'm not a very religious person, and that's how I would run my city, the logical way for survival right now. I mean, if I was worried about us, if I thought for a moment that we were all gonna just die, and I wasn't worried about keeping everyone alive, I'd say, let's keep the faith alive. We'll worry about the afterlife now.
Frozen hellscape not enough.
No, man, we'll get through that. I got a burning furnace, bro. So I've been playing that. And, Anre and I were playing some Divinity Original Sin 2 together, but we don't always have a lot of time to play that together. So I picked up this game that people have been raving about, and it's called Wildermyth. And it's really, it's a D&D style game. And the most it's tactic style, kind of like Divinity. You've got tiles and certain move points you can move your people, and attack points, and et cetera, and classes and all that. And it can get a little deep there. But where it really gets deep is like the randomization of events that can happen. And it really is building your own story every time you play. And it's really interesting that can happen. I read some dude in the Steam comments, and he said, man, I had a great team, and I loved this guy in my party. He was my favorite. And then I had this chick. She was like my tank. And she had a shield and a sword, and she would go in there and block stuff. But then all of a sudden, something happened, and her arm became stone, so she couldn't hold the sword anymore. But then I upgraded it to make her arm stronger. So now she has this stone arm of doom and punches people to death with it kind of deal. And there's a lot of events and things like that happen, it seems. And for me, what I thought was really interesting was my first play. I'm still playing my first playthrough, but my main tank, who I didn't think I'd love that much, my main warrior character, we ran into this cave thing, and he ran into this wolf god that transformed him into a werewolf. Well, you had the option to take it, and of course I did. So I turned my dude into a werewolf, and he's awesome now. Oh, and wow. Every chapter that goes by, it asks me, do you want to further his transformation? And it gives you different stats. It'll give you a buff and a debuff, and you decide if you want that. Well, I want my bro full wolf, so I'm going for it.
Yeah.
So he's got
gonna eat one of your companions.
He's got like a wolf head and a wolf leg right now, and the rest of him's human. So I'm assuming by the end of it, I can get the full
fill out. Yeah.
So there's a bunch of stuff.
A wolf head and one wolf leg.
Yeah, he's got a wolf head and one wolf leg right now, and it's kind of it's working for him, bro. He's strutting it, and it's really D&D style. So the characters have two like personality traits, like gloomy comedian, disparaging leader, and it's a bunch of different, and they can be randomized in a certain way that it always makes the conversations fresh. And the story is always seeming like it's making your own story. There's a lot of text, there's a lot of reading. It's comic book style, the way it delivers the cutscenes and story to you. But the way I feel and the way I've read a lot of people's comments is, even though some of these people don't like reading things, this is one of the best things they've ever experienced, because it's building their story and they get to read it. Yeah, so it's a really cool game. So I recommend it so far, and I'm looking forward to playing more.
Very cool.
Sorry, it was like a little long-winded.
No, man, it's great. That's still, that's like a third. No, I would say that's like a fifth of your Red Solstice soliloquy
Thanks,
last time. So not even really all that close. I'm glad you're enjoying it. And the name again for the people.
Yeah.
Wildermyth.
People in the back.
Wildermyth. Or Wildermyth. Wildermyth.
Wildermyth.
It's one word. Yeah.
Van Wildermyth.
Wildermyth.
So I will go next. I've been playing more Mountain Blade Bannerlord. I love that game. I am at I'm at a point right now where I'm kind of like taking not really a break, but what I'm starting to play like a normal person would play a video game, and not like a crackhead would play a video game.
I got you. Yeah.
If every time he played that video game, he got cracked for some reason. I'm a feudal lord. I've served fealty to the Northern Empire, and the Northern Empire is always at war with the Western Empire and the Southern Empire, and we're always at war with the Sturges. The thing about Bannerlord is there's like, let's say 8 kingdoms. I don't know how many, but they're around there. And these kingdoms are always at war with each other. Very rarely are you at peace, right? You're going around. I have an army right now, like 150 people in my party that I can have. So I'm going around fighting these battles, and then when you go to war with somebody, and you're a lord, you can join someone else's army. You can do whatever you want. You can take over castles by yourself, but joining an army or calling your banners or calling other banners and like creating an army, forming an army, and going after other armies or taking over cities and towns of the place you're at war with is basically like what you want to do during that time. And at the same time, you're managing your fiefs, you're managing your towns and your cities and your own castles. So when you take over a castle, right, that castle is now part of your empire. And then the leader of your empire, the king or whoever, he votes or he decides who gets it. And in the first one, Mountain Blade Warband, you were just like way more likely to have it awarded to you if you yourself took the castle or took the city. And now the other lords and ladies, they vote on who takes it. And you use your influence to vote as well. And I have 2, and I've taken way more. And I am starting to get a little miffed, all right? Because this guy's going to give me what I deserve, or we're going to have a problem. Now, last time I had a problem with somebody, I started my own kingdom, and I ended up destroying, all right, the kingdom that I had a problem with. And I want to do that because they've been nice to me, but it's not going to be too many wars that start and end, and I don't have anything. It's not going to be too many more of them, all right? So it's a constant struggle, and it's also very, it's been a long road to get my town which was actually awarded to me. Seems like ages ago, Omar, to get it profitable and not just losing me money. And they're just like revolting left and right. I don't know, something about me going into their country and with my army and destroying their city. They don't like me for some reason. Like, they have a long memory. Like, get over it. That was weeks ago. Anyway, so been playing that. Hopefully see some more of that this weekend on the observatory. Look forward to show you guys that. Go through like a little bit of a typical day in the life.
Yeah, I want to
Of
see some gameplay on it. That'd be awesome to see an observatory. Yeah, I
yeah,
want to see it. Yeah, I keep hearing about it, and
yeah.
I'm almost tempted to go to YouTube, but I'd rather see it from your eyes.
No, you want to see me? Cause
man.
You're gonna see how I go in there with my my large pole, my large two-handed
Sarlacc pit.
yeah.
Yeah, Sarlacc pit.
And just go.
No, you said big hole. I thought that. Okay.
Yeah.
This,
Pole.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. This
polar.
isn't Star Wars.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. That'd be nice. If I had a Starlight Pit, I would lead the other
Enemies into it.
army into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was interesting because the game has like the default is 500 characters on screen, and I was like, I didn't know that until I researched it. And I was like, well, I have a pretty high end PC now, so let's go ahead and raise that to the max, which is 1,000. And these battles, man, it's wild. We're gonna see some. I'll show you some.
I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
Of like long protracted battles. And you really don't know how it's gonna go because you yourself can only affect the battle for so long. And there's formations and stuff. I haven't really gotten good at, trying to figure out how to do everything. Like most people, when they start, I just go, hey, charge. and everybody just goes, hey, kill the enemy. You know what I mean? But it's very interesting, especially when it's a very large scale battle and there's multiple lords leading, like you're leading infantry, somebody else is leading archers, somebody else is leading cavalry. There's two cavalries and all that. And the actual commanders giving everybody orders. It's very it gets kind of in depth. So I've been playing that, and I've also been playing Fell Seal Arbiter's Mark. Like David said, we've been playing some DOS, Divinity Original Sin 2, and like you said, we haven't had enough time to play with each other. So as much as we like anyway. So, Fell Seal Arbiter's Mark is a game I heard about for like a year, and I actually was going to get it on PS5. It was on sale for $30 on PS5, and I was like, "Yeah, I'll get this." And I checked the Steam. And I was like, "Let me see how much it's on sale for Steam." It's like $9.85 on Steam.
Jeez.
It was.
Steam.
So I was like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and do that." I can take it with me, when I'm on business trips or whatever.
I told you things weren't going to be as cheap after that, so that was the time to buy a game,
Yeah, because I looked recently and it's just like
back to it. Yeah, I looked at it too. Yeah.
So one thing I wanted to note was it when I started the game, it was like, yeah, we suggest a controller with this, and I was like, oh, okay, because when I played Bannerlord, I'm using a mouse. I played Bannerlord on when I played Bannerlord, the first one on PS4, it's okay with a controller, but like it's a little better with a mouse. I mean, it's not freaking Arkham City as far as combat is concerned. Anyway, it's not exactly Spider-Man or anything like that. But it's better with a mouse and keyboard, I think. And this game, it was like, hey, we think you should use a controller. So I looked up how to connect the PS5 controller to Steam. It's
USB.
super easy.
Oh yeah, and just plug it in, or you can pair the Bluetooth.
I didn't even pair it. I just paired it, and boom, it works now. And I was like, great. So I have two controllers anyway. So one's on the, I could easily pair them back and forth, but one's for the PS5 and the other's for the laptop. And it's a great tactical RPG with an interesting story. I love the characters. I love the gameplay. It's my first tactical RPG since Nintendo is holding Fire Emblem Three Houses hostage on the Nintendo Switch.
Yep.
So yeah, it's great. I love it. It has this interesting mechanic where if a character falls in battle, there's no permadeath, right? So you have your three basically like main characters, and then you can recruit any other character from like the recruit store or whatever, like the the lodge or whatever. So you can recruit a mercenary or a mage or a knight or whatever. You just pay for them, and then they become a part of your party. When somebody falls in battle, even if they get resurrected, right? Like Phoenix Down, basically from Final Fantasy, they get resurrected. You still after the end of the battle, they are injured, and their stats become worse. And if they get injured multiple times, their stats just get worse and worse and worse. And the only way to get injury off one at a time, one injury mark off, is for them to not be in a battle. The next battle, so they have to take a seat on the bench.
Yeah.
So you have to manage that, and it's very interesting. It's very nice. So yeah, I've just been playing it. Whenever somebody gets injured,
I think this is the observatory territory right here.
Yeah, I love it.
I think we're getting into. Yeah.
I'll make mine quick.
Oh yeah, I just like it. Go still Arbiter's Mark.
Arbiter's Mark, cool. I haven't been playing much new. We did talk about Borderlands in our trailers episode, and that got me thinking about playing Borderlands 3 again. And there was a free update to PS5, so I went ahead and installed it again. And I started a brand new character with Zane. So I'm going through
Zane's fun.
That's my guy.
That's what Anre played. Yep.
Yeah, Zane, another Zane.
Yep. So, because I'd never beat it before, I played it on PC for a little bit, and now I'm like, well, now's a chance to play it on the new system. So, been doing that. I love that game, love Borderlands, so having a lot of fun with that.
Yeah, I played Flack. I loved him. Yeah, it was
Flack, because that was the character I was playing last. Yeah, Flack is awesome. Yep. He's got the pet that you can send off.
Yeah.
Cool. So, and they're making a Borderlands movie. That also kind of got me thinking about it. I know you're cringing, but I have hope. I hope it's good. It might be. Maybe it'll be good. But
Kevin Hart's in it.
He is.
And Jack Black's Claptrap. How could it go wrong? This movie. It seems like it's on the way to success.
Could be. Yeah. But also been playing Destiny 2 as usual. It's their summer event, the solstice. So I'm grinding away at that, trying to get my armor set all finished. Playing a lot of PvP. Need some people to play PvP with. So if anybody's listening and would like to play, I'm trying to get into the competitive. Destiny 2. Man, I've been playing the competitive.
I'll play with you.
You'll play competitive?
I'll play.
All right. Yeah, because I want to play Trials. They have something called Trials of Osiris. It's only on the weekend. You don't play
I played it back in the day, right?
Yeah. Yep. So been trying to get into that.
So it's only on the weekend, and I can't promise you that I'll play for a very my whole life, right? I won't. No, I can't dedicate all Saturday to Trials of Osiris. But if you need me to come in and destroy your enemies.
Okay.
For a couple hours.
I just want to get those bounties and get the good loot. That's what I'm after.
We'll see if we can get anyone else, but I'm down. I'll check. Yeah. All
right.
I love Destiny's PvP, and I was really good at it on PlayStation, and I'd be even better with the mouse and keyboard. So
nice. Yeah, let's do it. That's pretty much all I've been playing. Been playing some game with the kids. Got introduced them to Mario 64. I pulled out the collection on Switch, so having them try out the original, and they like it, but they're like, it's not. You can tell kids are so spoiled by the way games look now. They're like, this looks old. It's like, it is, it is. But so that's all I've been playing lately.
Well, I'm glad that you showed them, because I know, and I feel like the same thing is going to happen with my son. But he has to play Mario 64. You know what I'm saying? So I hope it's. I don't know. There's some appreciation for it at least.
We've talked about this ad nauseum here. I don't want to go into it too much, but I stand by the fact that Super Mario World and Super Mario Brothers 3 are way, way easier to go back and play for kids and adults alike than Super Mario 64.
Yeah, I would say that's. Yeah, the 3D is. Yeah, it's just different.
Yeah.
By the way, do you play? Speaking of PvP, Destiny. Do you play Overwatch by any chance?
Overwatch. I have Overwatch. I have not played it in a while. I think the game has probably changed a bit since I played it last time because they keep adding new characters and stuff. But yeah, I love that game. Overwatch is great.
We have to play it sometime. I really enjoy playing that game.
Yep.
I was top 100 Hanzos in the world on PlayStation.
It was a very good Hanzo.
Yeah. I was a good Hanzo, man. And I remember I played one time on because I didn't have a good PC at that point. I just had my PlayStation, and I played Overwatch on PlayStation. And he's like, yeah, man, I play on PC. You should come check it out. And I got on there, and I wrecked shop as Hanzo, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was... I actually saw him when he did that. Yeah. He was like, wow, this is easy.
Yeah, it's different with the mouse and keyboard. That pinpoint accuracy you can get from a mouse and keyboard is... sadly, you can't get it from a controller too. But
which is why crossplay cannot be with console and PC.
Now I'll say that on FPSs, yeah.
It just can't. It just can't.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
Unless you force, I think it could, but you have like lobbies that only can have controllers, right?
Yeah. Yep. Because crossplay is becoming more of a thing, and they're doing it.
And they could come out with that technology. So you could say this lobby is only controllers, and they have technology now, and that they could further develop to say, okay,
just filter it. Yeah.
And if this person
counter argument, PC players will just cheat.
They can't keep cheating like they can't do it now. No, there's some good there's good anti-cheat stuff right now, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, there really is. There's really good anti-cheat stuff right now. I can't remember. It's like the League of Legends one, and it's installed on my computer. Like you have to uninstall that separately because but you can't play the game without it being installed. So I uninstalled Valorant, which is it's a Counter-Strike style game with powers, and that's from the same people that make League of Legends. And I uninstalled that game because I haven't been playing it. And if somebody did, I would put it on my D drive. But anyway, I also had to uninstall the anti-cheat client. And if you look into their anti-cheat client, it's pretty crazy, man. You cannot, with theirs is like top notch, man. You cannot cheat on that shit. So they've got the technology, and I think it just matters if they want to spend the money to keep that kind of client running, I guess. If they want to spend the time and energy and money to keep a client like that running, but it's important for people that play competitive games, especially when it's starting to mean a lot of money for the industry, when they're going to these big competitions and stuff, and they're playing these competitive games for big money. Can't have cheaters. And I think it's totally fine to have cheaters. Have servers dedicated to hackers.
Put them together. Yeah.
If they want to hack,
cheat, you play with other cheaters.
But that's no fun for the hacker. They gotta pretend like they're good.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But it can also be like a server where everyone takes turn as the hacker. Kind of like a Evolve where you're the monster and you're all powerful, and then you've got 4 people trying to kill you that are equally.
What abomination are you pitching?
Anyway, let's move on. We've talked enough about what we're playing. No one cares. They want to play. They want to play Fortnite.
They want some new. They want some new, David. Tell them what's new.
What is new?
All right, let's talk about State of Play. What do you got, Anre? What's
Sony
new?
State of Play was recent. They had a whole bunch of games. They told us beforehand that they weren't going to have any big boys. We weren't going to see any Horizon. We did just see that. We're going to see God of War. We weren't going to see any of that. So that was good. But they did tell us that there was going to be a demo of or an extended gameplay session of
Deathloop.
Deathloop. Thank you.
Yep.
And so that ended the show. So we're starting at the beginning. And we'll just kind of run game by game and see what you guys thought of it. Yeah. And if you're intrigued, if you're less intrigued, more intrigued, never heard of it or whatever, what'd you think? So
let's keep it moving.
We'll start off with Moss Book 2.
Moss
Book 2. Yeah, Quirrell's back. I never played Moss. I don't have a VR. David, did you play Moss?
I played Moss, and I really thought it was really something special. Now, Christy played more of it than I did, actually, which is funny because she's not someone that typically plays a lot of games, but she enjoyed Moss a lot. And I kind of let her have that, so I didn't experience it as much as I want to. But once I get a PlayStation again, I would love to set up my PSVR and play it. So I'm looking forward to that. But I did see, it's special, and it's a game that deserves to be in the virtual reality space. And I'm glad that they're moving on to make another one. Ken, what do you think?
Yeah, I had the first one on Oculus Quest, and I love it. It is. I like platformers to begin with, but the way they kind of have the storybook kind of motif going, and you see this thing playing out, and it's like you can just kind of look around and see the environment and like look behind stuff, and just while you're moving your little mouse around, and it's just so well done. I love it, where it feels like a cartoon that you can interact with. That's what it kind of feels like.
The mouse is like you're not really playing the mouse. Like you are, but you aren't. You are, but it's weird.
It's telling a story. Yeah. They have this narrative going over top of it where you have a narrator kind of telling a story while you're playing it. And kind of remind me of like Bastion a little bit.
From what I remember, Ken, it's like you were the narrator. It's like you were the god helping the mouse move through the level. Am I wrong?
You're controlling the mouse, but it's kind of weird the way it progresses. You have control over it, but there is kind of this other element of the story is progressing, and you're kind of observing a little bit.
So I remember it's aspects where like the mouse is like moving through an area, and you're like playing God in the VR space, and you're like moving areas for him to go through, right?
Yeah, you can like there'll be puzzles where you kind of move these blocks around so that he can get across them and stuff like that.
Really cool. Yeah.
So I take it you guys were impressed and a little excited about this trailer.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking forward to it. Yep, definitely. Good. Now, is it a PSVR exclusive, or is it just they're just showing it off on PSVR?
I mean, I don't have much information about that. They showed it off on PSVR. I don't imagine it'll be a PSVR exclusive,
I don't think so.
But okay, because the first one wasn't. So, but they didn't mention it.
But I'll tell you what, it ain't coming to Xbox VR.
Nope.
No, this is not.
So, I think every other VR will get it, but
yeah.
So, yeah.
So the next game was a Carmageddon. Was announced.
Is it a Carmageddon or Arcade-mageddon?
It's kind of weird. Arcade-ageddon. You're right.
Arcade-ageddon. Yeah.
So I didn't get to watch this. For some reason, my browser wasn't letting me. I had seen something about this a day or two ago, and I saw a little video kind of play on the Epic Store about it. Yeah. And it looked very kind of cartoony.
You didn't miss much.
Yeah, I'm sure I didn't. I'm interested because I didn't see much, but I don't know if I should be as interested as I am. What can you tell me? I know it's like 4-person co-op, some kind of third-person adventure shooter, various different things, mini games of different types can happen to you at any given time.
You're right. You're right about the cartoony style. It kind of look Fortnite-ish. I guess the story like you're trying to save an arcade or whatever.
That sounds cool.
Yeah.
I mean, Tron was awesome, so maybe. Yeah.
It looks like a cross between Fortnite and Splatoon. Kind of like.
Really?
Yeah, a little bit.
I don't know. 2 games I don't know that should be.
Yeah. I don't know. It looks fun.
Does it? Okay.
Yeah.
It was kind of forgettable for me, but I mean,
shot.
it's a long state of play, and it was near the beginning, so but I didn't think too much of it.
And then I actually, I told you my browser wasn't really letting me see the video from the link. I tried looking it up on YouTube and I couldn't find it, so I don't know why. I typed in Arcade-geddon, and all that came up was Armageddon stuff, Armageddon style game DLCs and things. So I don't know. But I would like to see something. So if you find a link or whatever, send it to me. I'd be interested to see more of what it means. Yeah,
I will.
All right, what's next?
Next on the docket was New Tribes of Midgard. They revealed a whole bunch of stuff. I guess this game It's getting post-launch content, mid-launch content. It's got like 2 seasons planned. I don't know, man. It didn't seem all that
Got nothing on it. Can't help you.
interesting
No.
for me.
I'm out. Topping out.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those games where when it comes out, if people talk about it, maybe get some good buzz, some good previews, some good reviews. As of now, it's one of those quasi indie games that I'm not too
Pressed on right now.
interested in or concerned about. Seems like you guys are kind of in the same boat. So moving on, Hunter's Arena Legends coming to PS4 and PS5. From what I understand, this game was already out on Steam. It's like 60-something% positive, 62. It's like a PvP, type thing, like a MOBA.
Again, bro.
Fighting game.
Nothing for you on this one.
It looked interesting, but at the same time, like, it's already out. And
let me tell you about the next one on the list, though.
Didn't set the world on fire, so I don't know, man. I'm not interested in this. We know what David thinks about this. Ken, you interested in this?
I'm looking at it. It kind of reminds me of like a Soul Calibur, but not as good. That's the vibe.
That's all I need to hear to not get it.
Yeah.
I have Soul Calibur, so if I ever want to play Soul Calibur, I'll probably just play Soul Calibur. I will say this: the open world fighting game type thing kind of got me a little interested. Here's my bar. It was like, oh, I'm a little interested, and then it was like, customize your character. Have this roof. Silly thing, and it was like, ooh,
oh, you don't want to customize
just through the freaking floor. No, I don't want to put like this like serious fighter with like a rubber ducky on his sword. It was weird,
right?
And I was just like,
yeah.
I was just like,
That's some goofy stuff. Yeah.
I don't care anymore. I'm sorry. Okay. I wish I did. I don't. The next game on the list,
talk about
excited, man. Fist. Forged in Shadow Torch.
Yeah, that wasn't the one on my list, so never mind.
It looked. It's going to be out September 7th, which is pretty close to now. It's we see this.
It's a Metroidvania. Cool. I like those a lot.
Yeah, so. and it's about this rabbit that's like in a like a mech suit.
Ooh.
Very interesting. Yeah,
I gotta look at that. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, kind of arcadey 2D Metroidvania. Yes.
Okay.
The art style's kind of dark though for being like a
I like dark.
Fluffy bunny. Yeah.
It's a grimdark bunny, bro. He's seen some stuff, man. He's seen some stuff. He's not called Fluffy, bro.
Dude, every time I click one of these links, it goes to everyone 10 and up. It goes to the rating, and then it never goes any further. I don't know what the problem is. I don't know what the issue is. So I can't watch these. But cool. Looking forward to Fist.
Yeah, it looked interesting. I think the game I probably have been most excited for since I saw it released
is the next one.
Sifu.
Yes.
Sifu.
Looking forward to this game. This game looks stellar, bro.
It looks sick, man. It always looks sick.
Yeah.
It was delayed to early 2022. I say delayed because I don't think it had like a firm release date.
No. Yeah.
Early 2022. It's gonna be on PS5, PS4, all that.
Yeah. It looks awesome. It looks awesome. It's kung fu fighting, beat 'em up style stuff.
I love a good game with like hand-to-hand combat, and this looks like the way the moves chain together, the way like you and your enemies
interact
with the environment, and together, it looks great. Like, I would say like, and this is going to sound weird, but like The Last of Us Part 2, the way you interact in combat with your enemies. Obviously, this game is completely different art style, completely different story, but like, the fluidity with which you interact with the enemies in melee combat kind of reminded me of Sifu. or Sifu reminded me of that whenever I saw it. Like it looks very good. It doesn't just look
Yeah.
like your classic, action adventure or whatever.
It looks
And
done
it has an
well.
interesting
Done well.
premise um, where every time you die, your character ages. So that's interesting, and I want to see how that is implemented. I want to know, like, does he get better in certain areas, like gets
Yeah,
more
like you're
experience, or does
wiser
he
now
get
that you're
worse?
Well,
older.
how old can you get?
I imagine eventually he'll die, and it'll just be like
Right.
game over,
Start
start
over.
again, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting though. Like especially in anime, a lot of fighters who are older, they're wiser and they're the strongest. Master Roshi, for instance, need some help. Master Roshi, he's
Yeah.
super strong because he's older.
Hmm.
No.
Very excited about Sifu. I know David's very excited. It looks like he's back.
Okay.
Hey.
Yeah, it wasn't gone for long. So yeah, what were you saying about Sifu, David? The
It's like
last
they,
thing you were
they
saying?
get in a lot of these anime style things. The people who are older are better. They've had more time. They've gotten wiser. They've
Yeah,
gotten stronger. So I'm
yeah.
wondering if it's like opposite of like Dark Souls in a way where you just die. But if you die and you get older, do you also get like some stat bonuses? Maybe.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't know.
I don't think they could just do like, oh, you're just worse now. I think, or that would be interesting if your character gets worse, but you
But
end up
better in
having
some
an easier
ways.
time
Yeah.
because you get better. That would
Yeah.
be interesting. It would be very very bold of them because Sekiro is kind of like that in that your character doesn't really get all that strong. He doesn't like
No.
get all
Yeah.
these. You just get better at the game basically, and so it'd be interesting if while his character, if the Sifu, that's obviously probably not his name, but if while he got worse and worse, the player is getting better, and so it's easier for you even though your character. But I imagine some things will be better, some things will be worse. That's what I imagine. So,
Yeah.
yeah, very interested.
Yeah, I think it looks cool. I'm gonna keep my eye on that one.
Yeah. What
Um,
if like your character reaction speed was slower, right?
Mm.
yeah,
As the older
yeah,
you got, as many more you die, you're not
You have more moves.
you're not able to be as
Yeah.
fast,
yeah.
but you're stronger. So as long as you're paying attention to
Old man
what you
strength. Yeah,
need to do and not missing things,
yeah.
Right.
then you're gonna do more damage anyway. So it's
And depending on when you
that'd be
start,
cool. Yeah.
you might actually get better regardless.
Yeah.
At the beginning, like if you're 20 going to 22, going to 24, you might just get better and more experience.
Yeah. Cool.
So next, not a reveal, but just kind of another look at Jet the Far Shore. I hadn't seen this game. Very heavy on exploration. I got a lot of No Man's Sky vibes from
Oh
it. A
yeah,
lot of
that's the first thing I thought. Is it
yeah.
looks a lot like No Man's Sky. Getting
With
that.
and honestly, it looks like No Man's Sky with even less combat.
Wow.
Yeah, it does.
It looks like I love the art style.
Mm.
It's kind of difficult to explain, which I like that kind of like faded out colors and not realistic, but not Fortnite either. So I kind of like that. I like a game with its own distinct style, and yeah, I just I don't know if this is a game for me per se. Like when it's just pure
Yeah, I
exploration,
don't know.
but
Yeah.
we'll see when it comes out, man. Like maybe it'll just be like a Zen type thing. Like you know, there are a few games like that I played that I like. Very few, but this might be one of them. It really just depends. But I thought it was a good look at it. I thought it was a good trailer.
Yeah.
I thought the trailer made the game look good. I don't know if it's for me, but I thought it was a good showing. What do you
Okay.
think, Ken?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now just to kind of refresh my memory on it. And yeah, I mean, I am definitely getting No Man's Sky vibes, which I love that game. I've spent quite a bit of time in it. But I was also kind of feeling a game like Flower. Like, I don't know, the way they're kind of cruising around through the fields and stuff. I was kind of
I do
getting
kind of get
that kind of
Flower vibes from it too.
Yeah, but it's got a lot of like different environments. I mean, it looks pretty varied. Yeah, it'd be worth a look.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of Star Trek's Prime Directive, where they're not supposed to interfere. Like it seems like you're really not supposed to interfere with the life on this planet.
Right.
You're supposed to kind of observe or whatever, but it'll be interesting. David, your thoughts?
Man, I can't watch it, and I haven't been able to. So
Yeah, I haven't been able to see it. Yeah.
Internet problems today,
Just,
like I said. So maybe that's still what the problem is. But
we'll look at that later. For you,
if it's just exploration, I don't know. I don't know if that's enough to. It'd have to be like, if it was just exploration for me, it'd have to be a carefully crafted world with some supreme, beautiful moments built into it out of someone's crazy imagination. That I would love that experience. But if it's just like, I don't know, if it's a procedurally generated world like No Man's Sky, I don't know if that's enough for me to want to just jump into their world and explore the 100 combinations of top animal, middle animal, and lower animal parts that can be combined together. So
it looks a lot more curated than No Man's
if that's
Sky.
the case, then it might be enjoyable.
I don't even know if it's procedurally generated, to be honest. I hadn't heard that. So we'll get more information on that later. But
if it's a carefully curated project, and there's beautiful things to explore, then I'd be about it. Other than that, though, probably not.
Yeah. Well, we'll get you to take a look at it. Next is a game that I feel like I'd probably like if I saw the source material, and I probably will see it eventually. Demon Slayer. Yeah.
My daughter's really into that show. Yeah. So
I've heard great things.
You told me about that. Yeah.
I've heard great things about it.
I feel like it's really close in the queue right now. I'm watching Black Clover. We're watching Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm watching a lot of anime. I can't. You never want to go too much anime. All right. It gets really difficult to remember these freaking names. All right. You got your isekais. You got your Narutos. You got your
Demon
Kisames.
Slayers.
Yeah, your Demon Slayers. Yeah. You wanna pace yourself. You really do.
Well, what's funny is I've watched a couple episodes of the show, and there's a scene in the trailer that was one of the ones I happened to see. And while I was watching it, I was like, this kind of feels like a video game kind of fight. And that is just funny to me that is in the game. Because it was like this boss battle where the guy had these like drum beats that would cause these things to happen that could hurt him.
Yeah.
And it looks like that's totally in the game. And it looks like
I love a good show to that.
Yeah. And
it's flashy as hell.
It does. It does.
It just had a movie that came out that was very popular. I haven't seen it because I haven't seen the show, obviously, but it's very interesting. You know what it reminded me of as far as anime games? It reminded me of Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm, that series. For those of you who haven't played that game, it's set in the Naruto universe, obviously, and they just kept like releasing them every once in a while, so you get like more and more in the story, more and more characters or whatever. But excuse me. But it's a 3D space where you're fighting. But you're kind of like fighting on a 2D plane with each other, but running around and moving and doing all these jutsu and stuff on a 3D space. You'd love it, David, if you ever freaking finish Naruto. But yeah, it's a great series. All those games are great, and that's kind of what it reminded me of. And honestly, I will. There's no chance that I'm gonna play this game without seeing the show first. But I feel like I'm highly likely to see the show, and by the time I do, this game will be out, and we'll have reviews, and I might get it because it looks good.
It comes out pretty soon. It's October.
October, right? October 15th. Yep. So it's one of those where it's like to be determined whether I play this game.
Okay.
But it looked good. I like that. Very good. Another good trailer. Like I said, there were some earlier on that were Carmageddon or whatever, Arcadeageddon. I don't know why I keep saying car. Probably because of that game Carmageddon back in the day. But yeah, that were not that great. So anyway, next game, Lost Judgment. What did you think about this? I saw this game, and I will tell you, it reminded me of Sleeping Dogs.
Well,
I think it's
okay.
yeah. It's made by Sega, so I think it's made by the same people that make the Yakuza series. It got later on, you saw these mini games, and you're like, okay, this is some Yakuza shit. Yakuza's famous. Some would say infamous, but I think most would say famous. To be fair, for their mini games and stuff, and it's this wild combination of like serious Japanese businessmen talking about honor and loyalty, and the gang and all that, and like a dude in a diaper, like a grown man in a diaper singing karaoke or some shit. Yakuza's a weird freaking series. Dude.
Yeah, I hear.
Well, did you ever play Shenmue?
Shenmue? No, I had.
That it really reminds me of Shenmue. Yeah, because that was on the Dreamcast, and the way it has like these like kind of mini games and stuff going on. It feels a lot like Shenmue. So I haven't played Yakuza, but I think that it's a continuation of that kind of game is what it feels like to me. But,
yeah, I mean it appears you're a cop, and so I got Sleeping Dogs vibes. Another game that probably has good hand-to-hand combat. We'll see. I don't want it to be too arcadey. I believe this is an action, like an action adventure game, not an RPG. Yeah. I think the Yakuza games are RPG. Either they're action RPG or turn-based RPG, depending on the game. But so this looks good. I mean, it really does. The story looks good, and it just looks looks interesting. Yeah, solid.
Yep.
Next on the list. All right, we're getting into the nitty-gritty here. All right, the penultimate trailer shown on this State of Play, Death Stranding director's cut. So
or is it?
yeah, exactly. Or according to Kojima, it might not even be that. Release date coming out on September 24th. Interesting game. I know David, you had some. You love that game.
I thought it was awesome. Yeah, played the shit out of it.
I have not played it, but I feel like I'm being I've been rewarded for not playing games though, because on a lot of these Sony games, it's like, oh, you didn't play it, don't worry, we got you. We're
That's right.
the PS5 version. Yeah. I was like, okay, I'll play the best version of it, sure.
And to expand on what you alluded to, apparently Hideo Kojima, the director of Death Stranding, most notably for his Metal Gear Solid franchise, he gave an interview talking about how this isn't really a director's cut. It's almost like a new game. And if I had seen this trailer, I would have given just a little marketing speak. But for one, he's not a marketer; he's a developer. And two, I did see this trailer, and there's a lot in it. There's a lot of combat stuff. There's a lot of games. There's a lot of the shooting ranges. There's a whole lot of cutscenes. I mean, I feel like this is going to add a lot.
I almost wish I hadn't played it then. I'm tired of playing games. Look at all you fucking guys out there make these fucking $60 games that I fucking buy and I fucking spend the time to platinum, and then for some reason you're like, you know what? I'm going to make it better. And not only am I going to make it better, I'm going to make it free. And you guys enjoy that shit, okay?
This won't be free.
You people that take my money to make your game better and give it to other people for free, I'm tired of your shit. I ain't buying your shit anymore. I'm going to wait till it's free. You're fucking welcome. I hope everyone else does too. And then now you won't ever get any money for your games, and your dreams will die, and it will be burned to ash. So, yeah. Thank you, Ken, for making me realize.
I gotta tell you, man.
Sorry, I brought that out of you.
I gotta tell you, I did not see that take coming from someone who loves Death Stranding.
I'm over it now. It's every fucking game now. It's every. Yeah. He's right. He's been rewarded for not paying money for the games that I loved. So you know what? I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not buying a PS5. I don't give a shit. You know what? I'll buy a PS5 when it's given to me for free. And the games are then given to me for free. Because that's what you like to do, Sony. You like to give games away for free. I'll take them.
Full disclosure, Death Stranding Director's Cut will not be free. As far as their pricing, find that somewhere. I don't feel like getting.
And that's why you laughed so hard.
It'll be full price for if you haven't.
Will it be a $60 game or a $70? Because this is that kind of the new
on PS5. On PS5, it'll be $70.
$69.99.
I don't know if this is on PS4. To be honest with you,
do you get a discount if you have it already?
Yes, you do.
You just pay the upgrade.
You're upgrading it.
Like the Ghost of Tsushima is $30.
I apologize.
Yeah. You take it all.
But I don't. But I do.
But you don't.
But a little. Mostly, I apologize.
Are you gonna get it? Are you excited about these weapons?
Dude, I can't get shit right now, and you know it, bro.
But I mean, eventually.
No, probably not.
You know? Yeah.
I already played it. Time
out. There's
I platinumed it.
You platinumed that game? That's what I was gonna ask you.
Wow.
You platinumed Death Stranding?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I played the fuck out of it, man.
You guys, what time do you guys meet? What time?
And I didn't have all the snazzy guns you guys are getting. I didn't have all the delivery, whatever.
Yeah, like
I don't know. I didn't see the trailer.
Like piss bombs, right?
Nah.
You have to make do with like urine bombs.
Yeah, man.
Urine grenades.
We had the delivery bots, but you probably
blood
get
grenades.
When I had like 2 of them, you'll probably get like 20 of them. That's probably how many.
Oh man, they got cars and
I had cars.
catapults.
I had a truck. We had a truck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you got catapults. You got racetracks.
We didn't have racetracks.
Got the fragile racetrack. You can race with your friends. I'm serious. I'm dead ass.
Yeah.
There's a racetrack?
There is.
You can race.
In the trailer.
Fragile
with your
Express,
friends.
With your friends. Yeah.
Wait, your friends can be in it now?
Ask Hideo, man. He didn't expect.
Wait, your friends you can play in the same game as your friends now?
If you're racing, I assume, yeah.
Because
I know.
Moving on.
Yeah, so
Deathloop is the last thing on the list.
We're interested in Death Stranding, but Deathloop, new trailer, new gameplay trailer.
Who makes this game? Who makes this game again?
Arcane Studios.
Arcane Studios, property of Bethesda.
Bethesda. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So this is a PlayStation 5 exclusive. Right?
Yeah.
It's the last one they'll ever get out of them.
Wow.
You know what?
Which is sad. You know what? Prey 2. I'm not gonna get on the PS5, unfortunately.
You know what this game kind of reminds me of? I think this is going to be Sony's, because I think it's going to be good. We're talking about this trailer.
It looks cool. Yeah, it looks crazy.
I think this is going to be Sony's Sunset Overdrive.
I don't know.
Okay.
First of all, I don't think this game is coming to Xbox. I really think it probably is a full exclusive for PS5. And I don't think they'll ever make a sequel, obviously. And, and I think this would just be a really fun game that came out for a system. And to me, it kind of reminds me of The Outer Worlds, where I played The Outer Worlds and I didn't beat it. We all talked about playing it, not beating it. I'm not saying that'll be the case with Deathloop, but in the back of my mind, I was like, I like this game, but I know there's never going to be a sequel. So it kind of did you guys feel that? Because it kind of sucked my enthusiasm for playing it. It's like, or not going to be a sequel that I can play.
Right.
Deathloop, I doubt will
you
get
can
a sequel
play it.
At all.
No, dude. On the computer you have right now, you'll still be able to play Deathloop 2. I don't think. I think the computer you have right now will last that long, and you'll be able to enjoy that game on the highest settings.
I just don't think they'll make a Deathloop 2. I really don't.
If they did, though,
think it's coming to Microsoft,
the computer you have, you'd be able to play it, and that's the thing. I'm gonna play.
Well,
all these Bethesda games.
So I'll just steal it. Yeah. I'll just steal the game like the rest of my PC brethren.
So what's the premise of this game? What's the Deathloop? Is this like a
so have you played
roguelike kind of?
It's the same.
Yeah. Okay.
It's funny because it kind of did give me like having just like beat my head over the beat myself over the head with Returnal, dying and coming back and dying and coming
This
back.
seems
It's
to be
kinda
like
what this game is.
I think this is going
It's a
to be the
little different.
first person shooter roguelike. Is my
Okay.
thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
actually, I take that back
Part-
because there was that VR game, The Persistence,
Yeah.
and I loved it. And it was a first person shooter roguelike in VR. And it was awesome.
Into the Gungeon, I think, might have been.
That's top down.
yeah.
No, it's top
Yeah.
down. I'm thinking of something. It was another first person shooter. I can't remember what it's called.
So we'll say first AAA title. I think this is going to be the first AAA title, first person shooter roguelike game. Where
So I don't know if it's roguelike, to be honest with you, because here's my take on the premise, like you said. All right, so your guy trying to there's this day that won't end, right? Kind of like Groundhog's Day.
Mm-hmm.
He has to kill all these targets. He has to assassinate all these targets on this island or whatever. And every time he dies, he comes back to the beginning. He has to kill them all again or whatever.
right, that's roguelike. That's the point I'm getting at.
At the same time, he is being hunted by this other person who like knows he's hunting these other people. So I don't know if the randomness
That's
element,
a cool element that they're incorporating into it. But the idea of you dying and doing it over again, that's roguelike. So my thought is you're going to learn more each playthrough. Like, there was one thing I read about where there's this scientist and he's doing things and you find him and you kill him, and you can kill him different ways or whatever. And you'll figure out the quickest way to kill that fucking scientist, right? And then you'll move on. And then you're like, okay, I need to kill that scientist first because you're going to die. You're going to start the day over. It's a death loop. So you're going to have to kill, you're going to span out across this map, try different things, kill different bosses, and then plan out for yourself what you think is the most optimal route to get them all killed in one day without being hunted down by this other person. And that's a roguelike. And it's gonna be awesome. Yeah.
I guess the only reason I haven't heard it described as a roguelike is because of roguelike, like Rogue Legacy or Returnal, like their general randomness of it. I hadn't heard this being described as like, all right, well, you go here and things will be different. But
so yeah, there's for a lot of them, there's procedural generation, right? If you talk about a game like Hades, that's a roguelike. And while there are things that are certainly procedurally generated, they're really not. You're going through each specific area. You're going through Tartarus, and then you're going through, you're getting to Elysium, whatever. And each one of them, they're all rooms that you play over and over again, and it's just kind of random how they happen. But that doesn't even have to be the case for it to be a roguelike. I think the fact that what are we calling it, a Groundhog's Day game? You know what I'm saying? Like there isn't a Groundhog's Day game. It's a roguelike because you're learning from each run is the way I'm thinking about it, right? You're learning from each run, you're dying, you're starting over from the beginning. Yeah. That to me is the essence of a roguelike.
We can go on and on because there's actually a difference, and I don't know what it is because I don't care. But there's a difference between roguelite, L-I-T-E.
Yeah. I guess so, yeah. And
roguelike.
And I can't figure out what it is. I don't know.
Me either.
Why do people spell it differently, right?
I do not know, because there really is a difference between roguelike and roguelite. And I read it once, but I don't care that enough. I didn't retain that information.
I'm assuming that roguelike is probably...
I would say...
My assumption is...
At least it has roguelike elements.
My assumption is roguelike is probably a Metroidvania, right? That's my thought. Yeah. So if I've been hearing this for a while, and I've been trying to justify what each one means. Not sure, but real quick, you tell me what you think. My thought is roguelike means a Metroidvania title. It's like a Metroidvania, right? And then roguelite is something that takes elements from those.
Like inspired by that. Yeah.
That's my thoughts.
Which would make this more a roguelite.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I don't know if that's the definition. I
will
say
it matters, but
if it's not, it should be.
No.
All right. So when I look at this game, it looks like Dishonored. It looks like a little bit of Returnal, a little bit of Dishonored, a little bit of like maybe a little bit of Rogue Legacy in there, or Metroidvania, all that. And the gameplay looks fun to me. I will say this: I was not interested before this trailer. Like I was keeping my eye on it, interested. this trailer kind of sold me on the game.
Yeah.
This was their best showing.
Yeah, it was like 9 minutes. It's a long trailer.
Minutes?
Yeah.
It's a gameplay trailer. It's a gameplay.
Yeah. I have to watch it.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's their longest gameplay trailer, but I also think it's just like the best because the way you go and you do certain things, and it's not. There's also like a rewind ability too, where you're not just. It's not just okay.
So you have a moment. You made a mistake.
Yeah.
You know you made a mistake. Let me go back a second. That's cool.
Yeah, like your girl Tracer.
I love some Tracer.
Looked like to me. Yeah.
Love some Tracer. All right.
Yeah, a lot of controversy back in the day about her bum, strangely enough. But you didn't hear about that? Yeah.
Well, blink once and it's gone.
She had a pose that they changed.
Oh no.
Anyway,
all right, Deathloop. Awesome. Looking forward to it. Cool. I'm gonna play it.
I don't say bum
I'm
often.
play it.
I should add that to the repertoire.
Will I play it? Will David get a PS5 to the world?
And this one won't be on PC.
So, well, just as a reminder, if everyone's enjoying the show, you can head over to patreon.com/you know what our name is. So come over there and check things
Crown
out.
King Media.
Also, for all our audio-only listeners, we're on YouTube. Come find us. It's time to not talk about industry news because we spent too much time because there's too much to talk about, and that's fine. It was a lot of good content there for the state of play.
Yes, that was the end of the state of play, and that's how it ended.
It was so great. So we'll get into more industry news.
Real quick. Thumbs up or thumbs down? Do you like the state of play, Ken? Overall,
thumbs up. Yeah. There's some good stuff in there. Yep.
Overall, it ain't a thumbs down. So.
Yeah.
It's like a it's more up for me, but it's also not like you did it, you did it.
Yeah. Not to go too long. For state of play, I give it a thumbs up. It's not an E3 review. It's not a big blowout. They don't have heavy hitters. We knew that. And I like the fact that they just trailer, little bit of talk, trailer. They just kept it moving real nice and tight. They fill a lot of trailer. They fill a lot of time in like 36 minutes or whatever. So, yeah, thumbs up for me for state of play.
Yeah, I'd say mostly thumbs up, but you know what I'm saying? Just not like, oh, you killed it, buddy. Wow.
Yeah. But thanks a lot, Arcade-A-Geddon. Arcade-A-Geddon.
Arceus. Arcade-Geddon. It's really spelled Arcade-Geddon. And I really think they missed the mark there because it could have been Arcade-A-Geddon. Or Arcade-A-Geddon. And maybe it is. Arcade-A-Geddon. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to call it the coolest form of the word, Arcade-A-Geddon. And maybe we can keep up with that.
I hope it's no longer reference it.
Yeah, the end. You can just say the end of our arcades as we knew it, and we'll know what you were talking about. So anyway, we want to give a tip of the crown to Fernando Tatis Jr. for performing.
Fernando Tatis Jr.
For performing the first double jump in history outside of video games. Did you see that shit?
I did. Yeah.
Like, how did he do it? Like, what kind of physicality? It does, because in the footage, it looks like he gets a little oomph in the middle of his jump. Like, where does that come from?
We all know here. We talked about this before. We all know he's just stretching his body out to get a little more reach. We all know that.
So he was already stretched out a lot, and then he kind of pushes his legs down, pushes his arm up, extend a little more. Caught the ball nonchalantly. He's actually the cover of the MLB 21, MLB The Show 21. So
bringing it all around.
Yeah, we talked about it a long time ago. That first ever game on first ever the show game on Microsoft. So very interesting. He's a video game character in more ways than one now.
In real life, it's so funny. I looked at that video from different angles, and from one of them. Or for most of them, you don't see that double jumpiness. You just see the stretchiness of it, right? And it was a great catch all around. But you don't see that double jump. But then that one angle,
robbed that hitter of a hit.
Yeah, but that one angle, that one particular angle that they got, it does look like it could have been a double jump.
Exactly.
And that's super cool. No matter how you look at it, whether you believe in double jumps or God or not. I believe in double jumps. So
If it's a believer.
I know that they are real. I don't care what you tell me. I am now a believer. And
I've always been a believer. I've seen some double jumps in basketball. I've seen some in
no
football
way. You
with some catches.
You haven't seen double jumps.
I've seen some maneuvers that look more double jumpish than that. Yeah,
you're kidding.
I've seen a guy take off and just keep on going.
I need you to hunt these links down, bro. Yeah. Our viewers, our listeners need, and not only them, but I do, need to see this. Yeah. So please send them to us. Tip of the crown. Ken, I know you got one. What do you got?
I do. Tip of the crown to one of my favorite developers, Bungie. They had Bungie Day on 7/7. They like the number 7. So every July 7th, they have what's called Bungie Day. They'll usually do something for the community. This year, they are doing a Bungie Foundation giving campaign. So if you buy certain emblems in Destiny, it all goes towards children's hospitals. So kind of hits close to me because I work for a children's hospital, and we actually participate in this program. They will give iPads to kids that are in prolonged hospital stays. You can still give until July 20th at midnight, and you can spend like $10. You get an emblem. I think the highest tier is like $75 to get a crazy emote thing. Awesome. But but it's really cool.
I did not know that about Bungie. Yeah. That is really cool. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what? Yep. Yeah, I concur. Tip the crown.
Yep.
Wow, that's really cool.
You just go to Bungie.net if you want to give, and they'll give you some in-game items for your trouble.
Hey, you know what? Skip the Patreon donations to us this week. Whatever you would have donated to us, donate it to Bungie, and we will double what you guys donated.
Ooh.
We'll do it.
All right.
Make it happen.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
That is a gauntlet. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a gauntlet thrown down. Yep. Ball is in your court, listeners.
Don't pay us, pay them. And we will double it. You let us know. You let us know what you donated. You show us.
Yeah.
Crown King Media.
We'll match it. Awesome.
Double it. Not even just matching, bro.
Yeah.
Doubling the match.
Double it.
Yep.
Dang.
Yep. I believe in it. Awesome. Man, that's such a beautiful thing. Children's hospitals doing things like this are so important. And I was so inspired when I saw things like Marvel's Avengers, and they actually had the actors go into dressed in their costume, in their movie costumes, going into these children's hospitals and giving these kids hope. Really important, really awesome thing. And I'm glad to hear, and I didn't know that about Bungie. I'm glad to hear they're a part of it. That's really cool, really awesome. So,
for sure.
Yeah, awesome. Tip of the crown, Anre.
Awesome. Yep. I don't have a tip of the crown. I concur with both of yours.
Well, then I tip the crown to you, bro. All right, new releases for the week, ladies and gentlemen. Curved Space, Switch, July 13th. Outsider, Afterlife. Stop me if there's any of the... Outsider, Afterlife, PC, July 13th. Where the Heart Leads, PS5, PS4, July 13th. Skydome, PC, July 14th. Sister, you're the Sky Dome. Stop the weather from hurting the city.
It's like the Dimmadome. Yeah.
Space Punks. And I actually heard something about Space Punks. It's coming to PC July 14th. I have to look back at it, but this was like a 4-person co-op kind of fun twin stick shooter maybe. I don't remember. Yeah. I think this looks fun. I need to look more into this. I remember.
I see it in your eyes. I think maybe potential.
This might be a good one. I have to look back into it. So maybe if anyone else has heard of Space Punks, don't be a punk. Come let us know. PC July 14th. I'm going to take a look at it again after this, though. Labyrinth City. Pierre, the Maze Detectives coming to Switch. July 15th. Space Jam. This one's got me, bro, because you know what? If it is anything like NBA Jam.
Yeah, it's not.
With cartoon characters, I would be all up on getting this game. It's not okay. What is it, like 3D? It's like real basketball, like
No.
Okay. All right. So anyway,
no, it's not that either.
I don't want to hear any more about it. You're ruining this for me. Space Jam: A New Legacy is coming to PC and Xbox One. July 15th. So then we've got F1 2021. I don't even know what that means. Is that a racing game?
Formula
It's a
One.
racing F1.
Formula One.
That would be my assumption.
It's the weird cars with that are real low to the ground with the giant
Formula One
wheels.
race. Okay,
Formula One, yeah.
Okay, got it. So I was right. I didn't have much. That could have been. Could have just been a key on a keyboard thing that someone was trying to allude to something crazy.
Yeah,
who can space? Who knows?
F1 racing. Who can type the F1 key? Fastest.
That's coming to every console, which would make sense. I should have looked at that first because then I would have known how silly the keyboard typing the fastest F1 key. Anyway, that's coming to everything. July 15th. Legend of Zelda. He's game
back.
you've already played, but it's HD now. Is coming to the Switch, July 16th.
Skyward Sword.
Yep. This is actually a game I didn't play. This is the only Zelda game I have not played,
and
because
that
I
game,
didn't know.
It got a lot of flack, and it's a great game. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Yeah.
So do you think it's worth if you're a person that is a Zelda lover? You hadn't played this title because you didn't own a Wii, I think it was, right? Was that the Wii?
Mm-hmm. It was on the Wii.
It was on the Wii.
So if I remember correctly, no, that might have been Twilight Princess. Never mind. Because I think one was on one system, and then it was reversed on the other system. It was weird.
That was Twilight Princess, which was a GameCube game, and it became a Wii launch title. So it was really a GameCube game. Skyward Sword was the first really Wii-based Zelda game that was made for hardware
used the
from
controllers.
The ground. A lot of
the bow with it.
But wasn't it also on the Wii U? Skyward Sword?
Oh, you could play it on the Wii U. It was backward compatible, so it would play on it. Yeah.
So they found a way to make because like I said, and Ken and I both said they have the controllers, and you kind of the movement of them lets you do pull the bow, do different crazy things. You block with your shield, I think. Right?
Yeah.
And then attack with your sword.
You have different slashes. Yeah.
So they were trying to translate this and they found a way. So now they found a way to translate those actions
to make it playable.
A controller. So it's on
make it like a regular video game.
Yeah, like an actual video game. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
So cool. That's coming out. And I love Zelda, and I haven't gotten a good one in a minute. So I might be the time to pick it up. Although, you know what I would kill for? A Majora's Mask. Or Ocarina of Time. Any one of those. Choose your pick.
Well, those are $60. Consensus the two best ones, right?
Yeah. So I'll give you $60.
And they put them on 3DS. Yeah, they're on 3DS, but
there you go.
Yeah,
Get on my Switch with HD, like this Skyward Sword that didn't need it right now, but these other ones really needed it more. Man, seriously, you should have done. Ocarina of Time right now was prime time for them. If they're going to release something like this, I think this was prime time for them to do a high definition remaster of Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask. Take your pick, and people would have scrambled to the bit for this. Everyone and their mother would have paid for this, and this is the perfect time rather than this Skyward Sword that. The only reason they're doing this is because people didn't own the console, people didn't play it. So they want people to play it. That's the only reason they're doing it right now. Where, if they really wanted people to play it that bad, put out Ocarina right now, get the people that love that game to buy it again and play it again, and also get a new crowd involved into the series from one of the greatest games that was ever made in it. And then, you know what? In 5-6 years... do Skyward Sword when the technology really matters for it to change. This game it wasn't that long that it came out. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
You hit the nail on the head. While arguing against it, you hit the nail on the head. Not a lot of people played it.
Yeah.
Right.
And when you make it a regular controlled game and you have some quality of life adjustments, I'm told it's a pretty good game.
Yeah, because the game got a lot of flack for the intro. It does the intro tutorial part of the game. It starts out really slow, and I think they tweaked that in this new edition. So
there's a lot of changes they made.
They made some improvements. So,
but David,
it's worth
you said something, and I wanted to go back. I think that every good video game developer or publisher has something in the safe. Like, hey, if we get in trouble, we'll go to this game. All right, Square Enix had it with Final Fantasy VII Remake for years, decades. They knew they could make Final
hear
Fantasy
ya.
VII Remake. Boom, money.
So it's in the safe for them.
I think Nintendo has a bunch. Yeah. I think Majora's Mask. Yeah.
I think this is not the time for them to be safe.
But I think they got Breath of the Wild. They're like,
you're right. Two's coming out.
Two's coming out. Yeah. I think that when they get into a lull and they're like, the last Zelda game wasn't received well, and the last Metroid wasn't received well, and we're in a little bit of a losing streak. You know what? Oh, break open the glass. Get me Majora's
Finally
Mask.
give them A Link to the Past. Do it just like that other one we just did, the Link's Awakening one. Do it just like that. Give it to them. They'll be fine. It'll get them through. No,
Majora's Mask on the Switch. Woo.
Dude, they've got enough though. Like really, it's time. I hear you. That shouldn't be an excuse, and it is. It's good that they have a fail-safe in case shit hits fan, but that shouldn't be an excuse. You should not want that as your like business MO, right? You shouldn't want to say, hey, we're never going to give them A Link to the Past again, and we're never going to give them Majora's Mask or Ocarina of Time again, unless we really fucking have to. That should not be your business MO. They want these games remade. Yeah. And it's not going to be the last time that they're remade, Yeah. This is the time. This would have been the time for one of them, man. Even A Link to the Past, dude. Link's Awakening was great. Did you play that, Ken?
Yeah. Oh, I love it. Oh, that was a true remake too, and it captured everything from that original one. And it's weird because I played that a lot. That game I probably played more than any other Game Boy game, like on the old green screen Game Boy, and it was perfectly translated. It was, it's a beautiful
Give me
game.
that, but A Link to the Past, right? Because it was the same style. That's all they need.
Yep.
And I'd be happy that I got that Best of Zelda back in my life for a bit. They needed something, I think, and they haven't given it to us. They're giving us Skyward Sword. I don't care. I want A Link to the Past, which is easy, man. I really think you could get a team to make that game in 2 years. A Link to the Past in the style of Awakening, they could get a team to make that game in 2 years. They
use that same engine. They already had
it. Exactly. We should have already had it, man. So give me that to satiate me, kind of like what they're doing with Dread, Metroid Dread, which I'm really looking forward to. But is that enough? Like, it's been years, bro. I've been waiting for Metroid Prime 4 forever, man. Like, cool. Yeah. Thanks for Dread. And I'm gonna play it, and I'm probably gonna beat it in like it's probably gonna be 8 to 12 hour game, and I'm gonna love it. It's gonna be great.
For a 2D game, yeah.
It's gonna be great, but then I'm gonna be done with it, and I'm gonna be like, all right, even more mad than when I started. Yeah. Like, where is my Metroid Prime 4?
Where's Prime?
So the point I'm getting at, I don't want to get too out of hand here, but this was the time to give us one of the classics.
I like this. Yeah. I like this.
Yeah. This was the time to give us one of the classics because they just came out with OLED, which a lot of people are upset about. A lot of people don't even care. The people who are really happy about the OLED Nintendo Switch are the people that didn't have one to begin with, and that's great because it's perfect. Get it.
Once again, get rewarded for waiting. Yeah,
I'm tired of that. I'm not going to be at the forefront anymore. I really need to look into this. It used to be, man. It used to be you wanted to be at the forefront because then you were the best. People took care of you, and now it just seems like you're an idiot if you're at the forefront because they're riding off your
It depends on if you can wait. You're right. It depends on if you can wait because if you can wait, you should wait. And I'm actually going to touch on that a little later. But real quick, what do you think about the? It's not. It was rumored to be Switch 2, Switch Pro, but it's really Switch with an OLED screen, which objectively OLED is the best screen. The PS Vita with the OLED screen is still amazing. Yep. So that's great. Bigger battery life, a little bigger, whatever. So
like I said, when I heard these rumors, to me they were rumors. Like super rumors. They weren't even just rumors, bro. They were super rumors. Nintendo didn't say shit. Nintendo didn't say a damn thing. To me, it's like, okay, this is all really speculate. And I thought it was really early speculation too, right? Like, I really didn't think it was time to even be speculating a Switch Pro or anything like that. But I'm like, okay, I'm not excited. I don't care. But I'll wait and see what happens, right? All of a sudden it comes out, okay, it's not the Pro. Everyone's freaking out. It's the OLED model. And I thought it was perfectly sound. I thought it was perfectly fine. No, they didn't say anything about making a Pro. And it didn't.
They did not.
And it didn't even need to be Pro. Like, why does anyone care? Nintendo doesn't make games that need that high fidelity. Really, they don't. And now they're starting to work more on bringing those titles to the Switch to be another platform like Doom and whatnot. But on the general, if you're playing a Nintendo game, bro, what do you need?
Yeah. I have a theory on this. I think that they may have looked.
I want to hear that.
I think they may have wanted to have a little bit more power, a little bit more oomph, but there's a chip shortage right now, like a worldwide chip shortage. So I don't think they could do it. They don't want to put something out there that nobody can buy, because like the PlayStation 5, for instance, it's
on purpose. They always put shit out nobody can buy. They have stuff sitting in warehouses before.
Nintendo's able to put this out there, and they're going to be able to make probably millions of these because they're basically mobile processors. So
it would be nice to have supply constrained hardware that wasn't manufactured by Nintendo, that was actually real for once.
Yeah.
Well, I don't disagree. I've kind of had a similar thought.
I think you might be right. Yeah.
Where they took a moment and they said, okay, we can't make a higher end. They have the plans. Obviously, they're thinking of making not even necessarily a Switch Pro, but even like what's Switch 2 going to be, right?
Yeah.
So if they're not thinking about Pro, they're already thinking about, because they've been a little behind the other consoles right now because of when they came into the game with the Switch. It was right on time, because if they didn't hit the Switch when they did, I was fearing for Nintendo. I was really thinking they were about to become a software company, bro, and say, we're out of hardware.
Depending on how you look at it, they released either ahead of or behind Microsoft and Sony, depending on how you look at it, because the Switch came out before the PS4 and the PS5.
I've been having a similar thought, and really happy to hear you say that, because it's nice to not know that you're crazy. But I've really been thinking that they took a moment and they said, okay, this is what we want, but it is not happening, and who's going to get it before us? Apple, PlayStation, Xbox. So let's continue selling what we're selling well, but let's make it as best as we can right now. Right. And they knew, and I really think that the next model was going to contain this OLED screen, and it was going to be the same shape but more powerful. If that's really the case, I don't think they would have, gone with a lesser screen. So they said, "Hey, all right, let's send it. We need more Switches right now, anyway. More people want them. People are going to buy it for this, because I'm not one of them. I play the thing on the dock. I play it on the dock, on the screen. I'm not a kid anymore, and I used to be a kid on the bus, and I played my Game Boy. I played my Pokemon on the way to school, right? Yeah. And it's just not, now I got to drive myself. You can't like one-hand Pokemon, it's just not going to happen unless you're playing Go and you're walking to work. And
you make a good point. I really think a lot of people in the games industry, whether they be journalists or developers, live in San Francisco, and then
they take the train. Commute.
And then in Japan, Switch is huge there. Nintendo DS, mega huge.
Portables,
PS Vita and PSP, huge, because they all trains, like you said. Trains, so I really do think this is bigger in cities like that.
This is going to be big. A lot of people are going to buy these, and I think you might even see more people buy these than maybe the Switch Lite. Because they made that for the handheld community to just have that, and I think you're gonna, once this really launches, I think this is gonna, even people that bought a Lite just for that, they're gonna buy the OLED to upgrade that, and there is a market for that. So I'm with you on that, Ken. I've had a similar thought, and thank you for really reminding me of that, and because I really feel like that's exactly what happened, bro. They said
they needed to release this holiday. They needed to put something out. Yeah.
If David, you were, you didn't get your hopes up, and you didn't, I won't say believe it, but you didn't really put too much stock in it. you are one of the, I don't want to say smart ones, but you had a lot of foresight because where there's smoke, there's fire, and there was a ton of smoke with the Switch Pro. It wasn't just like, oh, this one dude with 2,000, Twitter followers, or this one site, IGN, freaking Bloomberg, the Wall Street, just Wall Street Journal, a lot of reputable GameSpot, just all over the industry. It was almost like a known.
They had sources
about
that had,
Switch Pro.
right,
and they all had it. It was so much, and so you're right that it is not Nintendo's fault that people got their hopes up. Nintendo didn't say shit about a Switch Pro. They did not,
and not even did these game companies. They just said, "Hey, we think it's coming." And that's what really got me, right? All of them. And you said, it came from all over the place. But they're all saying, hey, maybe a Nintendo Switch Pro's coming. And they just kept saying it more frequently. But nobody said anything of value.
I think I'll have to disagree there because I heard a lot of concrete rumor. I know, kind of an oxymoron. But heard
if you heard
4K,
that, the point is, if you heard that, then that bleeds into Ken and I's theories too. That it was a plan they were working on too.
Oh, I agree. On that we agree. Yeah. I don't think this came out of the ether. I don't think IGN started it and this game got it from IGN and that game got it from the game. I don't think
that one Nintendo employee's like, shit, I spoke a little too soon.
Exactly.
I get it.
I do think they won it. I think you're absolutely right, Ken. I think you're absolutely right, David. David, you're right. This is not Nintendo's fault. They didn't leak shit. Well, they didn't say shit. Ken, you're right. I believe that you're right. Anyway, that they wanted this to happen, and it just goes to show you about how speculation can let things get out of hand. Because if nobody heard about the Switch Pro and they announced Switch OLED, cheers, the internet, Nintendo does it again. But people had 4K in their head. People were thinking about Breath of the Wild with PS4, PS5 graphics.
Bro.
But it was so ubiquitous.
Man, I don't remember reading anything of girth, anything of value that spoke to me and said, hey, you should get excited about the Switch Pro. It's coming. All I remember from all of this news, and maybe I just haven't been paying attention to it. Maybe I haven't cared, but I doubt that because I think this is something to care about. Of all the information that's been overwhelming about the Switch Pro, it hasn't been overwhelming. It's been, hey, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like I've not been excited. I've been like, okay, I've been cautious about, and all the news I've heard.
We need you to break the tie, Ken. Yeah. Did you think that the Switch Pro were there so many rumors that you thought it had to be true?
Oh, I thought it, because of the type of rumors like you're saying. It wasn't just some, idiot on the internet. These were reputable sources. I think it probably was a thing that they were looking at, and it probably came down to you're only going to be able to make 100,000 of them for this whole holiday season, and Nintendo's like, we did the numbers. We would rather make millions, right, and make a few 100,000. Yeah. So they're like, it's a financial decision. And anyway, when Nintendo upgrades, it has like a mid-cycle upgrade. It's not usually that big anyway, because the 3DS had one. They had the new 3DS, and it had a bump in hardware. Like the processor was better. Yeah, and the DSi also had a very slight bump in the hardware, but it wasn't anything outstanding. Like it wasn't so big of an upgrade that you just absolutely had to have it. It still had to maintain compatibility with all of the current library of games. Although I think on the new 3DS there might have been a couple of games that required it, but then you fragment your user base and stuff, and they don't want to do that. So. No.
I think sometimes the L isn't on you, but you do take the L. I think Nintendo took an L, and I don't think it was on them, but the ubiquitous nature of the rumors and the specificity of the rumors got people's hype up.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
People were writing about this not as if it was.
Oh, like every week. There was a story every week coming out. He like, is this the week? Is it coming out? And I'm just getting sick of it.
I didn't believe
They weren't talking about it like it's a possibility. They were talking about it like it was a foregone conclusion. And the fact that it was beefier, 4K output, all of this stuff was a foregone conclusion that they were talking about.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And again, like I said, not on Nintendo. They didn't release anything. They didn't go back on their word. But sometimes you hold the L, even if you didn't do anything wrong.
I'm just glad they fixed that damn kickstand. Because I heard
that was
the kickstand is actually.
Man. I would love.
Positive.
Look at real quick. I would love to play my Switch on the kickstand. I'm too worried it's going to break. Breathing on it.
It snaps off
seriously.
Really easy.
So yeah, that's funny that they needed the Microsoft Surface Pro to come out to show them how to make a real kickstand for a tablet. But I'm glad they figured it out and they've applied that knowledge to their newest model that could have been better but wasn't because of the news and all that. So okay, great, cool. Switch Pro coming out soon.
Yep.
It's called the OLED, but it's the Pro because we believe it. So
Sure.
You believe it. All right. On Steam, what's free? Not much. The summer sale's over. So all those games I should have bought that I didn't are now that much more expensive. So, but Resident Evil 3, it's $19 right now. So if you like the Resident Evil remakes, they keep coming out with them like every 5 months.
They're running out of ones to remake. I mean, what is it? Code Veronica.
They're gonna remake 7 next.
Yeah, it's coming up soon, man. Like I'm like shit. I gotta hurry up and save some money. I know I just beat it, but like it's coming. I'm ready for those high-end fidelity graphics. You know,
they're gonna get their Sony on and remake the game that just came out.
Epic Store's got Bridge Constructor, the Walking Dead version. So it's essentially you build a bridge and the zombies go off, and I don't know. The people love it.
There's
free. Different versions.
Yeah.
There's a Portal 2 version. Yeah. Speaking of Portal 2 from
$99.
playing last week, you build a bridge and you let them go through. Anyway, so that's free. Free 30 on Epic Store. Also, Ironcast. It doesn't look that interesting to me. So, I mean, if you like games that don't sound interesting to somebody who finds every game interesting, then go look at that. Next up, what do we got on the PlayStation, Anre?
All right, so the aforementioned Resident Evil 3 remake is 67% off. That is $20. So same as on Steam. That's nice. Resident Evil 2 remake is also 60% off. That's $16 from the previous $40. Guilty Gear Xrd. I don't really know how to pronounce that. Last Guilty Gear game, I believe, is 70% off from its $40 price point. That's $12. Catherine Full Body. Interesting game, you know. I don't want to spoil anything about this game, but a very interesting game. 50% off, half off, as they say. $40, that makes it $20. And Assassin's Creed Rogue. For those that remember, Assassin's Creed Rogue is the game that came out on last-gen consoles when Assassin's Creed, I believe Black Flag came out on new consoles, or maybe Unity, the one after that. I think Unity. Very interesting game. 67% off, $9.89 off of its usual $30. Again, not many people played Rogue because it was like the last gen only game, and then I think Unity was the next gen only game. Next gen being PS4 and last gen being PS3. Those are the most interesting games. But I do want to say real quick, there are so many games here that are discounted that I don't even really see the discount because I already got them for free. If you have a PlayStation system, PS4, PS5, doesn't matter. All right, if you have a PlayStation freaking account, log in and get these PlayStation games that have been coming for free. There are so many good ones.
Yeah, they've got a lot of great updates to the people that paid $60 for them, and then beat them and platinum them, and then now they're free to you with extra awesome bonus stuff. Ken, what's on the Switch this week, buddy?
A Nintendo Switch. Yeah, we've got the Ubisoft, however you pronounce it.
It is Ubisoft.
Ubisoft. Oh, hard.
They have their super hot summer sale is what they're calling it. It is going on until July 21st, and they've got a bunch of good stuff. You got Mario and Rabbids You can get it for $15 or the gold edition for 20. The Just Dance series are $20. So if you like those, cool.
The gold edition of Mario and Rabbids. Good lord, this industry.
Yeah, got all the DLC on it.
Go on.
Yeah. One of my favorite beat 'em up games, Scott Pilgrim versus the World, the complete edition.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
It's a great game. It's $5 off, so you can get it for under $10 now. So that's a very cool game.
Even better movie.
Yes, it is. I love that movie. We got the Assassin's Creed games, the ones that are available on Switch. So you got Black Flag, Rogue, Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered. Those are all on sale. A bunch of their like game show and board game type of games like Jeopardy, Monopoly, Risk,
they have
all those stuff. Yeah. All those are on sale. Starlink, that's just a pretty cool. It's kind of a game that had the toys that go with it, and you have like your little R-Wing. They tied in with Star Fox, and you had these attachments you could put on for the different guns and stuff. It's a cool game. It's normally $60. It's on sale for $15, so pretty cheap. The South Park games, which are awesome. If you haven't played those are well worth picking up. You can get the Stick of Truth for $12, or the Fractured Butthole is $15.
It's the fractured buttholes, you could say it.
Or the fractured butthole.
No, but it's a really clever name for that title. The Fractured Butthole. Because it's talking about superheroes. The Fractured Butthole. That's great. It's brilliant.
Oh, it's brilliant. Yeah.
It's a play on Civil War. Came out around that same time.
Yes, exactly. Oh, yeah. Totally tied into that. Also have the Trials Rising. Those are very difficult but really fun games. Valiant Hearts is also $5, so lots of good stuff. Oh, and all the Resident Evil games, like you mentioned, all the ones that are available on the Switch are also on sale. They range from $5 for Mercenaries up until Resident Evil 6 is $15. So those are all pretty cheap.
Awesome.
So, lots of stuff on the Switch right now.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that sums it up for today's episode. If you enjoyed, please like, share, rate, comment, subscribe, tell your grandma. And you know what? Don't forget, we may be crowned king, but everyone's royalty here.
Royalty here.
They're all royalty here. Yeah.